Hey everyone, welcome back to This Week in Trans. Our main story this week is a sudden trio of TV advertisements featuring transgender people. 2017, suddenly people want us. I mean, not in their workplaces or washrooms or in their elected offices, but hey, you know, or often they just want people pretending to be us, but it's an improvement. Baby steps. Our first is Pepsi. Their latest ad is about joining the conversation. Anyways, among the pretty cis people living their typical millennial jobs, such as cellists and models, I mean, we've all been there, crumpling up photos or practicing on rooftops or handing our wigs to confused strangers. Also, here's the best part. If you don't blink, you can kind of see two people who might be trans. We're not sure. We want to, for Pepsi, we want to make it look like we like trans people. We don't want to lose people who don't like trans people. And then, so we're going to put these kind of people in there. Join the conversation. What do cis people do at parties? Oh. The second ad is Heineken.
It's absolutely critical that trans people have their own voice.
That's not right. You can't, you know, you're a man, be a man, or you're a female, be a female.
In this, you meet someone who disagrees with you and choose to either walk away or have a beer. Here the woman is out as trans, and the commercial is dealing with the issue that is a lack of dialogue between left and right political spheres. Now, it's one thing to disagree about climate change. You're not a cloud. I hope. It's another to deal with people who believe that your identity is a fabrication. Fortunately, the anti-trans guy comes around in like a minute and admits he's wrong.
I've been brought up in a way where everything's black and white, but life isn't black and white.
That was easy. You know when's a good time for a trans person to have a conversation with strangers who are opposed to your existence? When they're drunk. Maybe if I could Skype into the conversation? Please enjoy your beer and don't punch my computer. The third ad is Vick and was broadcast in India.
ये है मेरी मम्मी है ना प्यारी?
India again. Huh. Go India. In this 2-minute short, a young girl is orphaned and adopted by a loving mother who you find out later is trans. It's based on a real story about Gayatri and Gauri Savant, and it directly touches on civil rights. And it barely mentions the product. I'm not 100% sure what Vick sells, but I'm willing to buy it. Oh, okay, VapoRub. I don't know how you can rub vapor, but if they're down with trans rights, I'm willing to give it a try. So here we have 3 very different approaches to trans representation in advertising. The first is, blink and you missed it, back to the pretty cis people joining the conversation. The second is, hey look, a trans woman is talking about her experience with this curiously open-minded, not open-minded guy, all facilitated by this pleasantly apolitical beverage. And then there's Vick's, based on a true story, demonstrating that trans people are capable and loving parents. And by the way, our company also makes other stuff. Do I have to have a conclusion here? No? Vick's, obviously. Vick's is setting a good example for transgender advertising where our agency and stories are respected. So yeah, 3 recent examples of transgender activism and culture embedded in advertising. Complicated, difficult to pull off well. Buy our show. Well, thanks for watching. That's been This Week in Trans. I'm Amy Fox. That was the switch that we were flogging shamelessly in the last part. And depending on how things go between Russia, the United States, North Korea, and China, next week our special may be on trans inclusion in fallout shelters. Until then, keep it queer.